Hi guys, welcome to Superior Star Wars Show. Joe here again, and today we're going to be going over the next character arc, and it is going to be Galen Erso. Nothing really else to say, so let's just get started. Punch it. Galen Erso was a human male scientist and leading galactic authority on crystallography and energy enrichment. Born on the planet Grange, an agricultural backwater world, Erso was drafted into the Republic Futures program, where his skill and intelligence ultimately led him to become a critical component, though reluctant, in the development of the DS-1 orbital battle station. One of the most renowned polymaths in the galaxy, Galen was a gifted theoretician, mathematician, and experimental physicist. Galen wound up in the Futures program on Brental. In and while involved, he received word that his mother had died of a short illness, and only a few years later that his father had died in an incident. Following these losses, he soon became best friends with an architectural student called Orson Krennic. Following graduation, Galen wound up taking advanced studies, research internships, and teaching positions. During this time, Krennic helped Galen land a visiting professorship at the Institution of Applied Science on Coruscant. Galen travelled the galaxy on research missions searching for rare crystals to use to supply power. By the time Krennic had helped him get the professorship at the Institute of Applied Science, his focus had become kyber crystal research. During an expedition on Espinar, in the search of rare crystals such as kyber crystals, Galen met his future wife, Lyra. By the end of the 6-month expedition, the two were lovers, and a year later, Galen married Lyra on Coruscant. While many of Galen's colleagues pursued government research, Galen refused to pursue military research because of his principles, and instead took a contract with Zerpin Industries to continue his studies into the crystal synthesis and energy enrichment. Galen hoped to find a way to provide clean, safe, and nearly unlimited power to development worlds by unlocking the secrets of the kyber crystal. Months before the outbreak of the Clone Wars, Galen and Lyra relocated to the Outer Rim world, Volt. By the start of the Clone Wars and before leaving Volt, Lyra was already pregnant with their future daughter, Jyn. Shortly afterwards, Volt's Republic aligned king was overthrown in a coup by forces who received military support from the Separatist Alliance. Galen and Lyra were hunted down, and Galen was imprisoned in Volt's security complex. Whilst imprisoned, Galen was offered a chance to serve the Separatists for their freedom. Galen refused, but was willing to accept their offer if his wife willed it. The same year, Jyn was born on Volt. Galen Erso was rescued in a prisoner exchange by Krennic. Krennic, who was part of the Republic Special Weapons Group and responsible for the development of the Death Star. Krennic sought to manipulate Galen and place him in his debt to coerce him into working on the Death Star superlaser, which relied on kyber crystals, a topic in which no other galactic authority was as well versed in as Galen. Back on Coruscant, traumatized by his near-death encounter at the hands of the Separatists and increasingly worried for the safety of his family, Galen quickly fell under the influence of Krennic, who now served under the auspices of the First Galactic Empire. Krennic offered him a position in the project's celestial power. Eventually, Galen became suspicious of Krennic's inability to provide him with examples of the implementations of his research. Lyra told Galen that his research was being weaponized by Krennic. They both sought to escape his imperial service. They sought the aid of known rebel Saul Guerrera, whom Lyra had heard of through Has Orbit, the pilot who initially rescued them from Volt along with Krennic. They sought help from Saul and purchased 65 hectares of land on Lamu. For several years, Galen eked out a peaceful existence on Lamu, living off its less popular eastern side in the modest homestead. Krennic travelled to Lamu aboard his personal ship with a complement of death troopers. Galen confronted Krennic, who offered him re-entry into the Empire's service. Galen attempted to lie to Krennic, pretending that his memory was not as it used to be. Despite this, Krennic saw through Galen's lie. Simultaneously, Galen's wife Lyra pulled a blaster on Krennic, demanding that he leave them and their daughter alone. After refusing to lower her blaster, Krennic ordered his death troopers to kill Lyra, which they did in front of Galen's eyes. Galen was then pressed into the service of Tarkin's initiative, an Imperial think tank. Galen delayed the research as long as he could and made himself indispensable. Unknown to the Empire and to Krennic, Galen deliberately engineered a fatal weakness at the centre of the space station in the form of a reactor module. Stationed on Edu, Galen eventually convinced Imperial pilot Bodhi of the true horrors of the Death Star. Overcome with crisis of conscience, Galen entrusted Bodhi with a message to be delivered to the rebellion, informing them of the station's vulnerability. Krennic discovered that there was a potential traitor amongst the researchers. He travelled to Edu, and it is here that the threats to kill all the researchers, Galen announced that it was he who sent the coded transmission. Angered by Galen's betrayal, Krennic hit Galen across the face. Before any further action could be taken, a Rebel Alliance strike force assaulted Edu, and a proton bomb from a passing Y-wing struck the platform where both Galen and Krennic were standing. Sending them flying, Jyn ran to the platform where her father lay dying, revealing herself to him in his final moments. After a brief word with his daughter, Galen died from his wounds in Jyn's arms. Galen's sacrifice was not in vain. The Rebel Alliance eventually learned of his sabotage from the Death Star plans, which they procured at great cost. And with that knowledge, the Rebels were able to exploit that vulnerability to destroy the Death Star, dealing a powerful blow to the Empire. So yeah, guys, that was the latest character arc, Galen Erso. In my opinion, he's probably one of the most important characters in the Star Wars universe, if you look at it really. I mean, if he had not have leaked those plans, he had just gone along with everything. New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, those films could have gone so much differently, and in all honesty, probably might not have swung in the Rebels' favour, but we would never know. That's just speculation, and that's maybe another topic for another day. But yeah, that has been the latest character arc. We will be putting a voting down in the comments below. We'll also be putting our Facebook group page where you can just vote for what the next character arc are. I will make you aware there are going to be some heavy hitters in the next one. I sort of have a feeling I already know who everyone's going to pick. But yeah, that has been the Superior Star Wars Show's character arcs. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give us a like. Please consider subscribing to us. Make sure you tick that notification box up at the corner just so you can be notified on all our latest videos going forward. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, do all that shiz. But other than that, guys, have a superior day.